Right now at 5, we take you to Lamar, Missouri to survey storm damage that hit the 4 states late Sunday.
We've got no severe weather in our forecast for the next several days. What we do have is the excessive heat. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Also, it wasn't just the town of Lamar that got hit, but the Barco Theater as well.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is already hot outside.
That it is.
We even have a heat index. It's 5 a.m. and we have a heat index outside.
Starting off right.
Aren't we though? I mean, summer has decided that we just haven't had enough and it's going to give us some more. And unfortunately though, it's giving us dangerous heat. It's not just giving us summertime heat, dangerous heat out there. We've got excessive heat warnings once again for a good portion of the area. As you can see in those magenta colored counties, yeah, that's where we've got them until 8 o'clock for just about everybody. And then we have heat advisories in northeast Oklahoma that run until 9 this evening. So once again, we're talking heat index values, 108 to 112 degrees out there. So make sure that you're taking precautions if you have to be outdoors, especially if you're still doing storm cleanup from what we saw Sunday night. It's only been 2 days and it feels like it's forever. All right, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line looks great. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 5 20th Avenue. And our camera at 7th and Range Line. It's dark outside, but that's expected at this hour. But isn't expected is this and that. It is 80 degrees in Joplin, feels like 83. Dew point humidity both up there. Muggy start to the day. You got 77 Fort Scott, 78 Nevada, Lamar, Pittsburgh, 82 in Chanute, 80 Miami, and 79 in Neosho as we get our morning underway. As we take a look at our start, it's not so great. We will drop just a little bit more, and then we're going to turn around and heat right back up. Partly cloudy skies near 90 by late morning. As we head into the afternoon, we are looking at temperatures upper 90s, lower 100s. Once again, partly cloudy skies. We head into the evening, same thing. Still hot, still partly cloudy. A pop-up storm or two is possible, but this is going to be very isolated. 99% of us should remain dry, unfortunately. We go into the evening, another mild one, upper 70s, partly cloudy skies. Still looking at the lower 100s over the next few days, partly cloudy, some pop-up storms possible again tomorrow and Thursday, hot on Friday, and then as we head into the next work week, we see increasing storm chances and thankfully decreasing temperatures. Caitlin?
Lamar, Missouri is cleaning up from Sunday's storms. City officials are working to get debris and damage cleared as well as restore power to residents. One resident who had a tree fall on her house says she's thankful for the hard work by officials to help her.
I called 911. They were so good to come out and check. A deputy came out, and then the city came out to check it and see if I was okay. Great job for both of them. Yes.
They'll say they'll continue to clear out all damage and debris throughout the week. And the historic Barco Theater in Lamar was also damaged in the storm. The storm moved part of the bracing structure of the viewing screen. Theater manager Scott Kelly says the theater will have to get a new screen. He hopes to start raising funds as soon as possible. The Joplin Public Works Department opened its free tree limb drop-off site yesterday. It's at 1702 North Schifferdecker Avenue. It'll be open through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Another option for Joplin residents is to bundle limbs and branches cut to 4-foot maximum length and place them curbside for pickup on their regularly scheduled trash service day. A crash in Joplin sends 2 people to the hospital. At about 4:30 p.m., a motorcycle crashed into a pickup truck at E Plaza Drive and South Range Line. Witnesses say that the motorcycle was traveling at high speeds. The motorcyclist was unresponsive and transported to a nearby hospital. The pickup driver was also transported to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The 4 states has dealt with triple-digit temperatures for a stretch of days now, but the city of Joplin has relief to offer. Cooling centers have popped up around the city in preparation for another week of extreme heat. These include Joplin City Hall, Joplin Health Department, the Donald Clark Public Safety Center, and the Joplin Athletic Center. These cooling centers are open from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Portions of an Arkansas law that would make it a crime for bookstores and librarians to provide materials deemed harmful to young readers is temporarily blocked. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed the law earlier this year. The law was scheduled to go into effect today. It calls for librarians and booksellers to be held criminally liable if they knowingly give minors books that appeal to, quote, a prurient interest in sex. The lawsuit was filed by numerous publishing groups, including the Arkansas Library Association. Oklahoma gets low marks for healthcare quality from a new Wallet Hub analysis. Our other area states ranked among somewhat better. In a ranking of all 50 states and the District of Columbia, Oklahoma ranked 46th for healthcare quality. Arkansas was 37th, Missouri was in the middle range at 26th, and Kansas was the best in our area, ranked 16th. The study from the personal finance website Wallet Hub considered such factors as infant mortality, availability of physicians, and percentage of residents with health insurance. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, with college football season almost here, both MSSU and Pitt State have to get used to a new rule happening during the 2023 season. Plus, how eating strawberries could help slow down heart disease and cognitive decline. And it's going to be hot today, but how hot will it get? Chris will have the answer coming up in weather. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, the Major League Baseball trade deadline is noon today. The Cardinals and Royals spent the weekend making moves, getting prepared for the rest of the season and the future. Kansas City deals away shortstop Nicky Lopez, who's known for his glove, but having a tough season at the plate, and they get relief pitcher Taylor Hearn from the Braves in return. This is just a week after he got sent to the minors, and the Royals had a chance to sign him without trading anyone away, but passed on that. Meanwhile, the Cardinals make two big-time trades. Jordan Montgomery and Chris Stratton get sent to Texas. Each of them are essentially rental players for the rest of the year. Tekoa Roby is one of the prospects the Cards get back, who's injured right now but will enter their rehab facility in Florida. Meanwhile, Jordan Hicks goes to the Blue Jays, and St. Louis President of Baseball Operations John Mozeliak says they're on to next season.
Obviously, this year has not gone as we planned, so we really want to focus on what 2024 and beyond would look like. And we felt like as we had players that were attractive to other teams, we had players that were becoming free agents, and we felt like the timing, albeit unique for the St. Louis Cardinals, we had to do this.
College football season begins a month from yesterday for both Pitt State and Missouri Southern, and MIAA Supervisor of Officials Doug Laurie explains there will be a few rule changes teams will have to get used to in 2023.
The new rule for halftime is at 3 minutes left on the game clock. You got a 20-minute half, 3 minutes left on the game clock, the field needs to be cleared. Consecutive charged team timeouts will no longer be allowed by the same team in any individual dead ball period. With 2 minutes or more, so more than 2 minutes in the half, the clock will no longer be stopped to award a first down when the play ends inbounds.
Well, still to come, an American nurse and her daughter are kidnapped in Haiti. Plus, we've got another check of that hot forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:14 now on this Tuesday morning. So we've got the excessive heat warnings for the counties in magenta. They all run until 8 p.m. tonight, and we've got heat advisories outside of that run until varying times as well. But these excessive heat warnings, these are for heat index values anywhere from 108 to 112 degrees possible across the area once again as we head into the afternoon hours. So that puts us here where heat exhaustion is likely and heat stroke is possible when we get into that kind of heat index range. And we've got tips and warning signs, information about heat stroke and heat exhaustion, how to tell which one is the person suffering from, and what you need to do, the things you need to look for. Those are on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. If you click on the forecast, you'll find that graphic in there, and it'll tell you all you need to know about heat exhaustion and heat stroke, because it could possibly save somebody's life. With this kind of dangerous heat, we cannot emphasize enough how much you need to be taking precautions out there. It is dangerous in this heat, so make sure you're taking those frequent breaks. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Stay inside if at all possible, somewhere where it's air conditioned. And again, if you have to be outside, just make sure you're taking those precautions and watching out. All right, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. We are looking back toward the south, and we are looking good so far this morning, and we're looking all right from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. The one thing it doesn't show you is the fact that it is hot even at 5:15 in the morning, but our current conditions can. Our camera, 7th and Range Line, also looking good. We've got partly cloudy skies. It is 80 degrees. It feels like 83. Dew point is at 69, which puts us in a very uncomfortable range, and the humidity's up there too at 69% as well, so it's quite muggy even this time of day out there. We got warm temperatures around the area, 77 Fort Scott, 82 in Chanute, 80 Neodesha, 79 in Parsons, 78 Pittsburgh Lamar, 80 in Carthage, and 79 down in Miami as we get the morning started. Now, believe it or not, because we don't hit our official low temperature for another about hour or so, our temperatures will drop back a couple of degrees to our official low. Then they'll turn around and warm back up. So we go through the morning, we're partly cloudy skies out there, and temperatures near 90 by 11 o'clock. And as we head into the afternoon, we will remain partly cloudy. We got highs upper 90s, a lot more lower 100-degree readings out there today. We remain partly cloudy. As we go into the late afternoon, early evening hours, we have that possibility of a pop-up storm or two. So what we've got the ingredients for thunderstorms across the area. What we don't have is the spark. So it's basically, think of the humidity this way. We've coated the region in gasoline. We just don't have a match to throw in there to set off the storms. And while we don't need severe weather, we need the rain. And unfortunately, a stray pop-up storm or two is just not going to cut it. And most of us are going to remain dry as we head through the evening hours. We'll also be partly cloudy. We're still hot through the evening. We're 95 at 8, 89 at 10 o'clock. Overnight lows once again mild, back into the upper 70s. And as we look ahead, doesn't get much better for the next several days. We're going 104 tomorrow, 105 Thursday, 100 on Friday. Pop-up storm chances again Wednesday and Thursday, but these are going to be extremely isolated. Overnight lows not giving us much relief either. Now we stay hot heading into Saturday. Then we see our thunderstorm chances increase, and thankfully we begin to see our temperatures decrease as we start the next work week. So we're going to be talking upper 80s, lower 90s, still some partly cloudy skies, and we'll again begin to trend slightly more upward toward the end of next week. But the good news is if we can make it through the next few days, we do have some relief on the way, even if it's just brief relief. It's better than nothing, and we have some better thunderstorm chances heading into the weekend and the start of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, regularly drinking alcohol, even small amounts, could raise your blood pressure even in adults without hypertension. A new study says a little as one alcoholic drink increased blood pressure in men and women, including those with no existing blood pressure issues or conditions related to alcohol. Researchers looked at data from 7 studies conducted around the world between 1997 and 2021, involving more than 19,000 adults. The study found that even less than one drink a day produced a small rise in systolic pressure over an average of 5 years. It also found that small amounts of alcohol also raised the lower or diastolic blood pressure reading, but only in men. Researchers find that sleep apnea could be linked to a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. Sleep apnea is a disorder in which sleepers breathe erratically, and the most common type involves obstructed airways. A study published in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine drew on data from about 4,000 adults who were in 2 other studies and found that obstructed breathing and falling oxygen levels were significantly associated with a higher risk of cardiovascular issues. The study doesn't necessarily prove sleep apnea causes cardiovascular disease incidence, but the researchers emphasize that breathing obstruction and lowering oxygen levels were likely a main factor. A new study finds strawberries could help you in 2 areas of overall health. San Diego State University scientists say that 2 daily servings of strawberries could help slow down heart disease and cognitive decline in aging adults. The researchers say that strawberries are full of antioxidants and help drop cardiovascular risks that include hypertension while also improving cognitive functioning. And there may be help on the way for low-income Americans with disabilities who are still trying to save money. A proposal now before Congress calls for federal matching funds for what are known as ABLE accounts. ABLE accounts are tax-advantaged savings accounts for people with disabilities and their families. Under the legislation, there would be a federal dollar-for-dollar match of up to $2,000 for new and existing ABLE accounts for individuals who earn $28,000 or less per year. And the CDC says cases of leprosy are rising in Florida. Cases in the southern U.S. have reportedly more than doubled over the last 10 years. Experts say the rise in cases of the disease, which is typically uncommon in the U.S., could mean it's now endemic in Florida. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is caused by a bacteria and causes skin discoloration, lumps and ulcers, and damage to the nerves. If left untreated, the disease could lead to blindness, paralysis, physical disfigurement, and even the shortening of toes and fingers. Scientists are saying that too much TV watching for kids affects their metabolism in their adult years. A study done by a New Zealand university says TV watching in younger years can cause metabolic syndrome in adulthood. Metabolic syndrome covers a variety of problems tied to excess body fat, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and more. The research shows that watching lots of TV between the ages of 5 to 15 increased chances of having metabolic problems at age 45. Researchers say TV viewing is a low-energy activity that replaces physical activity and sleep quality, and screen time can also lead to children consuming more sugar-sweetened beverages. And it's the 4th most common cancer in the U.S., and a recent study is showing colon cancer is on the rise in younger adults. The American Cancer Society recommends adults at average risk start regular screenings starting at age 45. Mandy Gaither has some of the red flags to watch out for.
We are seeing colon cancer in much younger patients, under the age of 50.
Experts don't know the exact cause for this alarming rise, but they suspect some leading factors.
Obesity, smoking, alcohol, lack of physical activity, and those are the types of things we obviously try to eliminate.
While some patients may not see any symptoms, Dr. Salzberg says there are some signs to look out for.
Number one is rectal bleeding. Many patients think that it's hemorrhoids.
He says to see a doctor before deciding it's hemorrhoids and pay attention to symptoms like abdominal pain, unexplained weight loss, and changes in bowel movements.
That's the one thing. I always tell my patients, many patients are afraid of a colonoscopy, but I tell them there's nothing to be afraid about. It's really a simple procedure. And the fact is, it's preventable. If we do a colonoscopy, and let's say we find a polyp, and we remove that polyp, well, that polyp no longer can eventually change into a cancer.
The American Cancer Society also reminds us when it comes to treatment, early detection is key.
If you think you may be at increased risk for colorectal cancer, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say to speak with your doctor about when to begin screening, which test is right for you, and how often to get tested. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we're keeping an eye on dangerous heat across the area. It's already hot with a heat index at this time of day. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News return.
Good morning, I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy with your KOAM News Update. KCU Joplin welcomed its first class of students for its new College of Dental Medicine. Classes don't start for a few weeks, but the students were able to get familiar with the campus and their new classrooms. Many areas across the country face a dental shortage. The new students say they're excited to fill that gap. Victory Life Church is giving Pittsburgh parents a new option for childcare. Yesterday, they opened a new facility called Sunshine Childcare. It's at 681 Highway 69. Officials say it'll provide an enriching experience for kids. And the Junior Dragons Youth Football League hosted a football camp yesterday. The Junior Dragons had the chance to practice the basics of football with members of the Pittsburgh High School football staff and current Dragon players.
We've got excessive heat warnings again across most of the area, so heat index values 108 to 112. Make sure you're taking precautions. We're going to be partly cloudy today, highs into the lower 100s across most of the area. We remain partly cloudy this evening, a pop-up storm or two possible, but not likely. We stay hot and then mild overnight as we go back into the upper 70s once again. Pop-up storms again possible Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures lower 100s, 100 by Friday. Storm chances increase by the weekend.
Right now at 5:30, KCU welcomes its first dental class onto campus.
We've got excessive heat warnings once again across the area for dangerous heat. We're going to take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, Compass Academy celebrates the success of its students in Columbus, Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's already hot this morning. Believe it or not, we'll cool back a couple of degrees and then we'll turn around and heat right back up again today. And we do have another round of excessive heat warnings across the area as well. So let's take a look at those excessive heat warnings and heat advisories. They run through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. The excessive heat warnings for heat index values anywhere from 108 to 112 degrees. And then the heat advisories themselves are for heat index values 105 degrees to 108. So dangerous heat out there across the area. We are here in this range on the heat index values where heat exhaustion is likely and heat stroke is possible out there. So when you are outside, if you have to be outdoors, you need to stay hydrated. Make sure you're taking frequent breaks. Limit those outdoor activities. If you can, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes, and of course, check on the elderly and pets across the area. So some things to keep in mind in terms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. There are differences. Now, I'm going to step out of the way here between each of them. Heat stroke is considerably more serious than heat exhaustion, but still both need to be taken seriously. If you think somebody is experiencing heat stroke, you need to call 911. If you think they're experiencing heat exhaustion, there's some tips. You got to get them inside where it's cool, get them to drink water and take a cool shower or use a cold compress. And you can find this graphic on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com under the forecast page. All right, MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line. We look great. We're looking great from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. However, it is hot. Our temperature in Joplin right now still at 80, partly cloudy. 83 is what it feels like. Quick look at temperatures around the area. Yeah, warm. 77 in Fort Scott, 78 in Nevada, 82 in Chanute, 80 in Yates Center, 79 Miami, and 78 in Neosho. We get our morning started. Partly cloudy. Temperatures again turn around, warm up near 90 by late morning. And our highs today quite unpleasant. Partly cloudy skies, lower 100s across the area. We'll have another look at your forecast and when we may see some relief here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Today, Parsons, Kansas residents will vote on whether to renew a public safety sales tax. The tax supports funding competitive pay to retain experienced police officers and firefighters and to pay for training. It also helps buy vehicles and other critical equipment. The tax has been in place for more than a decade, and if approved, the tax would continue for another 10 years. KCU Joplin welcomed its first class of students for its new College of Dental Medicine. Classes don't start until August, but the students were able to get familiar with the campus and their classrooms. Many areas across the country face a dental shortage. The new students say they're excited to fill that gap.
Pursue, my dream of becoming a provider, but also serving this community in Springfield and, Missouri. So I was definitely very excited whenever they were opening this school, just because I would be allowed to practice and start serving this community.
The student orientation will last for 3 weeks. The Junior Dragons Youth League hosted a football camp yesterday. The Junior Dragons had the chance to practice the basics of football with members of the Pittsburgh High School football staff and current Dragon players.
So today we have, starting at grades pre-K through 2nd grade, the high school kids are getting together and helping us with the camp today. A lot of the high school kids actually started in Junior Dragons. So for them to come back and teach our kids, the youngest of them, is really good.
Today is the start of camp for 3rd through 6th graders. There is still time to sign up for the Junior Dragons regular season. Games for the league will begin in September. Compass Academy celebrated the accomplishments of some of its Columbus, Kansas students. The Academy hosted its first ever graduation ceremony for its Columbus CAN Summer Enrichment Program. Officials say the graduation celebrates a significant accomplishment for these students.
I hope that when they leave here, they feel like they have this sense of, I can do whatever I put my mind to doing. So if I want to continue through school and I decide to become an art therapist, that I can figure out how to do that through understanding, that I have to work as a team and that I can be creative, that I can figure out all of these different things, that they can kind of put things in place so they can grow into what they want to become.
The Compass Academy provides hands-on learning for middle schoolers. It started in Joplin, but this year expanded to Columbus. Victory Life Church is giving Pittsburgh parents a new option for childcare. Yesterday, they opened a new facility called Sunshine Childcare. It's at 681 Highway 69. Officials say it'll provide an enriching experience for kids.
There's no deadline. It's just we open and then we start filling spots. So yeah, necessarily no deadline. We just know that this is a major need for our community. This is a great facility. It's a great new childcare and a great location right off the highway. So it's a great piece for our community.
Sunshine Childcare will be hosting an open house on Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A group of women get to experience something they missed out on in their teens, a quinceañera. Plus, 2 German maze enthusiasts create a Mickey Mouse-shaped maze, all in honor of the 100th anniversary of the House of Mouse. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Riverton, Kansas, in honor of National Night Out happening tonight. Topping World Watch, at least 2 people are dead and 6 more injured after a strike on the Russian-occupied Donetsk region in Ukraine. Russian officials said the city was shelled multiple times. Several buildings and vehicles were hit, causing fires, and the attack reportedly damaged a water facility. Firefighters were on the scene, as well as medics. UNESCO has recommended that Australia's Great Barrier Reef not be put on a list of places considered to be in danger. The organization made the recommendation in a report released Monday. However, it did say that the reef remains under, quote, serious threat, and that urgent and sustained action was needed to preserve it. The UN body also recognized the Australian government's attempts to protect the site, including upping restoration efforts, and the reef has experienced a period of recovery since 2019 following bleaching events in recent years. A Portuguese street artist rolled out a carpet of oversized 500 euro notes at the Lisbon venue where Pope Francis will be celebrating a Mass during the World Youth Day next week. Bordalo, too, explained his carpet is a walk of shame, saying there's a lot of sense of injustice in relation to the way the Catholic event is being organized. Pope Francis is scheduled to arrive in Lisbon on Wednesday, August 2nd. And it's been 6 days since an American nurse living and working in Haiti was reportedly kidnapped. Monday, protests erupted outside an aid facility near the nation's capital, where Alex Dorsonville and her daughter are said to be having taken. Jared Hill has the latest on the search.
Cries for liberation echoed through streets near Haiti's capital of Port-au-Prince. Hundreds of protesters pleaded for the return of American aid worker Alex Dorsonville.
I'm a nurse from New Hampshire, but now I live in Haiti.
Dorsonville was working for the nonprofit El Roi Haiti, running what she called a makeshift clinic. The organization said she and her young daughter were kidnapped from the campus Thursday. This woman says she was there as it happened, waiting for a checkup when a man she couldn't understand pulled out his gun and told her to relax.
We are aware of the reports that 2 U.S. citizens were kidnapped in Haiti.
The State Department wouldn't give any information on the desperate search. Dorsonville went missing the same day the U.S. advised Americans to avoid travel to Haiti. The State Department even ordering non-emergency personnel to leave the country, citing widespread kidnappings. According to a recent UN report, gang violence is fueling a rise in kidnappings, killings, and injuries in Haiti. More than 1,600 total incidents in the first 3 months of this year. Nearly 400 of those, kidnappings. The situation sparked protests earlier this month. The State Department says it's working with Haitian authorities regarding the Americans reportedly kidnapped. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The aid group says Alex Dorsonville had been living in Haiti for multiple years and that she'd married the group's ministry director in 2021. Earlier this month, Doctors Without Borders announced it was suspending services in one of its hospitals in Haiti after nearly 24 men with guns burst into an operating room and took a patient. And a fun tribute to Disney is taking place in Germany. In celebration of the House of Mouse's 100th anniversary, 2 German farmers created a corn maze depicting Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. The maze is the size of 4 soccer fields and also features various games and quizzes. The husband and wife farming team started planting the fields in May, working with a team of 22 people, including students, to plant over 360,000 plants. This is the farming couple's 25th themed maze. Other times, they've created a map of Europe and a portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. That's a look at some of today's biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:44 now on this Tuesday morning. Let's not go back to Monday. Let's keep moving forward because we do have relief from the heat in our forecast, and that's what we want to aim for. However, today and then again tomorrow, we're going to see excessive heat warnings across the area. And again, heat index values 108 to 112, and in some cases, maybe even as high as 115 degrees out there. So that makes this heat very dangerous, potentially deadly. It puts us here with the heat exhaustion likely and heat stroke possible out there. And with folks still cleaning up from the storms on Sunday, you need to make sure you're staying hydrated and taking frequent breaks. Limit strenuous outdoor activities where possible. And again, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes. Check on the elderly and pets. Make sure that they're okay in this heat. And of course, for yourself, if you do have to be outside, it is important to know the differences between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And you can see there are a few significant differences between each of these. And of course, heat stroke is considerably more serious. You need to make sure you call 911 if you see anybody experiencing those symptoms. And for heat exhaustion, get them to a cool, air-conditioned place. Get them to drink water if possible, and take a cool shower or use a cold compress. And of course, as we've been mentioning this morning, you can find this graphic with all of this information on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Just click on the forecast page, and it will be there for you. All right. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Like I said, all morning, it's been looking great. It does look great. It's just hot, and it's going to stay that way. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. Our camera at 7th and Rangeline, still dark, but it'll eventually start to get lighter. We're at 80 in Joplin, partly cloudy. Feels like 83 right now. Dew point and humidity both up there, which is making it rather unpleasant. Across the area, it is a warm start. We got 77 Fort Scott, Iola, 82 in Chanute, 80 in Yates Center, 78 Pittsburgh, 80 in Miami, and 78 in Neosho. Now our temperatures, in order to reach our low, will fall back just a little bit, and then they'll turn around and heat right back up to near 90 degrees by late morning. Partly cloudy skies today. As we head into the afternoon, we remain partly cloudy and hot. We're going to see highs, more of us getting into the lower 100s today, which again makes it very dangerous to be outside. As we go through the evening, no relief from the heat. A pop-up storm or two is possible, but the chances are relatively low. Unfortunately, most of us will remain dry, and we'll go back into the upper 70s again as we head into the overnight hours. As we look ahead, the triple digits continue through at least Friday. Looking at maybe 104 tomorrow, 105 by Thursday, 100 on Friday. Wednesday and Thursday, a very low-end chance for a pop-up storm or two out there, but again, that's a very limited chance, unfortunately. However, as we head into the weekend, that's where we start to see at least some good news. We see our thunderstorm chances increase through Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, and as those chances increase, The better news is the temperatures begin to decrease. We go back into the lower 90s and even some upper 80s out there. As we start into the next work week, our rain chances kind of fade away. We're looking at partly cloudy skies, but our temperatures remain better than where they have been. Again, back into the upper 80s and lower 90s. So we've just got a few days of this to get through, and it's going to seem like the longest week. But by the time we get into the weekend and next week, it's going to feel considerably better out there. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be right back after this. But first, we're going to head over to Riverton, Kansas. We've got a live look in honor of National Night Out happening tonight.
If you are caught up in the Barbenheimer craze, you have several chances for big screen double feature fun during the month of August. Rick Damagallo reports.
Boys, where have you been? We're just running errands. That's it?
The month begins with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem on August 2nd and the toothsome Meg 2 The Trench on August 4th.
This looks like a bite. Search the ship. Everywhere.
August 11th finds the very scary Dracula film The Last Voyage of the Demeter creeping into theaters alongside the fast-paced racing action of Gran Turismo.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Yeah, that's more like it.
And August 18th pits the super-powered Blue Beetle against the potty-mouthed pooches of Strays. Hoping movie theater air conditioning stays on in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
After all the big summer movies, August winds down with the biopics Golda and The Hill, along with stop-motion animated adventure The Inventor, all releasing August 25th. For probably a lot of us, a quinceañera doesn't mean anything, but for a whole culture of people, it does. These seniors may have missed it once, but now they're getting to rewind time and celebrate what they missed in the past. Yakira Nakayama has the story.
On Friday, these group of women got to experience something that they missed out on in their teens, all part of the sewing group here at the United Community Center. Their gowns made with a personal touch.
It means some dream come true.
A quinceañera is a celebration in Latin America where a girl becomes a lady at age 15. The celebration carries lots of tradition, which calls for big gowns, crowns, and a lot of fun.
It feels really good. I've never had those feelings before. So it's just exciting, really exciting.
A celebration these women between the ages of 60 and 70 are finally experiencing at the UCC Senior Center.
It feels fantastic to be able to celebrate something that you never did before.
Socorro Robles is part of a sewing group at the UCC. She says a conversation with the ladies led them to discover none of them ever had a quinces. That's when the UCC began planning.
Our seniors brought up to us that, they didn't have the opportunity to celebrate their quinceañera growing up. So they brought the idea to us and we say, let's go with it.
A celebration 8 months in the making. The special part, these women put their sewing skills to the test and personalized their dresses.
Each one of their dresses is based on their personality.
Family members and District 2 police acted as chambelanes or escorts. This dream come true experience bringing this sewing group even closer.
This is my extended family.
What a great event. Good for them. We'll be right back after this. The wreckage of an ancient Roman cargo ship was recently discovered off the coast of Italy near Rome. Italian media and international outlets reported on Friday, July 28th, citing Italy's police force. The wreck was found off the port of a coastal town, according to a report from Journal of Cultural Heritage Crime, which says it is linked to the art squad of the Italian police. The vessel was discovered about 160 meters below surface and contained hundreds of amphorae, a type of Roman jar, the report said. A Kansas dog owner reclaimed his good boy nearly 2 years after he was stolen. The Kansas Humane Society says Wichita Animal Services recently confiscated Gage and another dog. It says he had fleas all along his back and has alopecia. His owner had been looking for him all this time and had put an owner reclaim reservation on Gage, so it was easy for them to find his real owner. Gage was still a little loopy from getting neutered when he was reunited with his owner, but he remembered his dad. The Kansas Humane Society says they wish Gage and his dad nothing but happy memories. And a zoo in eastern China is trying to reassure visitors that their sun bears are not people dressed in costumes. Rumors and conspiracy theories have been swirling on social media after video of a sun bear standing on its hind legs, similar to this one, went viral. In the video being shared online, the bear looks uncannily human and appears to wave at the crowd. Its fur appears loose and wrinkled in places, almost like an ill-fitting bear suit. Sun bears are the world's smallest bear species. In a statement, the zoo insists people just don't understand their behavior.
Well, we've got another hot one today. Excessive heat warnings continue across the area, and they will do so again tomorrow with heat index values anywhere from 108 to possibly 115 degrees. So you've got to make sure you're taking precautions out there. So we get our morning started. Partly cloudy skies will be near 90 by 11. And as we head into the afternoon, upper 90s, a lot more lower 100-degree readings out there under those partly cloudy skies. So very hot across the area. As we head into the evening, not much relief. We stay hot. We stay partly cloudy. We could see a stray pop-up storm or two, but honestly, the chances are very low. Most of us will remain dry, and if not all of us. And then as we go into the evening and overnight, still mild, upper 70s and partly cloudy tonight. No relief from the heat for the next several days. In fact, it may just get hotter. Lower 100s at least through Friday. So again, pop-up storm chances, very low chances for our Wednesday and Thursday with our highs into those lower 100s. Overnight lows, no relief down there either. Then we head into the weekend. Now Saturday still looking to be somewhat hot, but then we're going to start to see thunderstorm chances increase, and those will continue at least through Monday. And as they do so, the one thing that they're going to help with the most is not only the much needed rain, but they kick our temperatures down to a much more manageable level, and they should remain that way as we head into the next work week. We'll start to dry out. We'll go partly cloudy again, but our temperatures remain much more reasonable, back into the upper 80s and lower 90s across the area. So some much needed relief from this heat is on the way, but we've still got to get through the next few days, and I'm telling you, it's going to feel like the longest week as we get through the next several days of triple-digit heat. That's Check Your Forecast. We've got another full hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.